Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be reviewing some of the most recent items added into Miner's Haven, starting with the Oasis, which was added in the Summer Update Part 1, the final upgrader from the second sacrifice, the fusions, the birthday items, all of that. Not going to be talking about any of the shop upgraders or items, as that would take way too long for one video, as there's a lot of shop items added in. However, we're going to be taking a look at some of the rare items, with the exception of the spinnerite mine, which I just threw in there. Let's start off with the Oasis. This item is a weird item and probably one of the worst exotics that has been added into the game. As for life 1, it does 150 times, life 2 to 5, it does 100 times, anything past that it does 50 times. So obviously if you get it at an early life, it's going to be a very good furnace for you. However, for those who are high life, you definitely have a better option for furnace, and I do not recommend using this thing. Looks pretty good, but it's really not that great. Next up we have the spinnerite mine, which has $500 ore value and drops fidget spinners. It's pretty simple. Next we have the final disappointment, which does 1,000 times right now, which makes it very not good. Compared to the ultimate sacrifice, that is. Compared to other upgraders, it's great, but the original ultimate sacrifice is better than this. It will be getting buffed, so hopefully it'll get the Tesla effect back, making it good once again. For now, though, it's pretty terrible. Next up, we've got the Corpium mine, which, the longer it's placed on your base, the higher the ore value will get, and it can increase up to 60 billion cap, sorry. It is a decent item, though I would say that in some cases the Symmetrium can be better. For example, with this item, it loses one of the benefits of the Symmetrium, which is the long dropper. On this item, the dropper extends out quite a bit from the hitbox, making it possible to place the item and use it on cells such as the cell particleizer and the fracture, without having to use other means to get the ores into the furnace. On the cell particleizer, of course, I mean on the sides that are blocked off, where normally mines wouldn't be able to fit into it. Corpium loses that. However, it can have higher ore value, and if for whatever reason you're going to have the mine sitting on your base for a while, this will be better for you, as the ore value can get significantly higher. It also has the same effects as the Symmetrium mine with fire-resistant ore, and ore increasing at about 1% value every second. Makes it pretty decent, and in some cases better than the Symmetrium. However, Symmetrium in some cases is also better than the Corpium. Next up, we get to the Dark Illuminator, which, in my opinion, is the best furnace in the game. It does 40 times without being activated, and when it is activated, it'll do 200 times. Now you may say, well, the Sakura Garden's better because it does 300 times. To that, I would argue, the size of this is so much smaller that it makes it a lot more space efficient, a lot better for a lot of setups. Along with the Sakura Garden needing an Azure Spore, Wild Spore, etc. in front of the furnace to be able to get rid of particle effects, which makes it take up more space. This doesn't have any downside other than needing to be remote activated, and can accept any ore that goes into the furnace, which makes it very strong for a lot of setups. Next we have the Mini Infuser, which gives you 10 speed and makes you very small. It can be quite glitchy, and the speed isn't great. It also comes with no jump boost, making it a pretty bad infuser. It could be argued that it's slightly better than the Infinite Infuser in some cases. The Righteous Will easily beats it out, though. Next we have the Rocket Launcher, which gives you a rocket launcher. If we go ahead and fire it, the missile is, or the rocket is very slow coming out of it. It seems a little bit laggy, it travels slowly, hard to hit things with it, and it really doesn't do all that much damage. Not worth the 95 Robux it costs to get, and really it's not that good at all. Next up, we have the birthday conveyor, which is a reskin of some of the other conveyors, like, if I can find it in here, the festive conveyor. It's basically the same thing, except it looks birthday themed. It's another conveyor, I guess it's cool. Next up, we get into the birthday exotics, which are both pretty solid. The strawberry cake, which is probably the better of the two, by far, in my opinion. Downside of it is it's got a slow conveyor speed, and ores can get stuck in it, like you can see there. Ore got a little bit stuck in there. However, if the ores do make it through, they get a 10 multiplier, which for a random exotic upgrader that you can just throw in your setup is absolutely amazing. This is comparable to the Overlord device, which is a pretty... I wouldn't say difficult to get, since it's fairly easy now, but it's not... It's a pretty good upgrader, is what I'm trying to say. Times 10 is very good just to be able to throw in your setup along with some of your other upgraders like the Quantum Clockwork, Azure Spore, True Overlord device, etc. Making this a very good exotic to have. Finally, we have the Grand Birthday Cake, which is a very interesting furnace, and is, I wouldn't say necessarily top tier, but it's definitely solid. The first ore it accepts is 35 times, as you can see there. Second ore is 350, and it alternates between this effect each time, which makes it half the time better than the Sakura Garden multiplier-wise, half the time worse than the Oasis. This means that for one ore setups it can be very good, and if you don't have a Sakura Garden or Dark Illuminator, this is probably your best furnace by a long mile. It also looks great, might I add. Both of these items look great. Most of the stuff here looks pretty dank, if I do say so myself. But it's decent. It does fall under the same problem as the Sakura Garden, which it has a negative downside, which can be very impactful on setups, depending on how you use it. And it's also very big. It's actually bigger than the Sakura Garden. So if you have a Sakura Garden or a Dark Illuminator, don't use this furnace because both of those are better. However, this is a decent furnace, definitely good if you don't have either of those furnaces, and probably your best bet. That's all of the items that I'm going to review. Thank you for watching, hope you found it helpful, etc., etc. Okay, bye.